Hey everybody, it's Tara Green here, and it is Monday already, October the 13th, starting of another week. And October 13th is a very, very big day astrologically. There's two major things going on today. The planet Venus, the planet that everybody loves because she's the planet that represents women. She represents the divine feminine in everybody. She represents love. She represents beauty. She represents money, luxury, the arts, creativity, relationships, all the good stuff. Leaves Virgo behind, where she's been very nitpicky, very organized, very worried, very anxious, very much a workaholic. And then she enters her home sign of Libra today at 5, I don't have my glasses on here, 5:14, there's my cat, 5:14 p.m., that's Eastern Daylight Time. And she's going to stay there till the beginning of November. So when Venus is in her home sign, and she has two signs that she rules traditionally, that's Taurus and Libra. So those two signs benefit, but especially Libra right now because Venus is in her, this is considered to be her nocturnal or her evening sign where she's really into relationships more. So time for balance. And you notice right on cue, the Gaza Israeli thing, they exchange their hostages, there is peace. So Venus in her home sign of Libra is definitely the peacemaker, is the ancient scales of the Egyptian goddess Ma'at, who balanced her ostrich feather crown against your heart, against the heart of the deceased. And if your heart was heavier than her ostrich feather, then you had to go back and reincarnate again till your heart was light as a feather. And I love that story. So trying to find more peace. Now you know that Libras get a bad rap these days. It's not that they're superficial. They want everybody to like them. They want to be nice. Okay, so they're trying to people please everybody, and they're being pulled in two different directions all the time, and they don't know what to do, and they're always asking everybody else what they think. So, okay, but it's a much nicer energy for Venus to be in her home sign. It's air sign, so the love language of Venus in Libra is talk to me, text me, tell me how much you love me, read me poetry, stuff like that, right? It's not necessarily touchy-feely. That would be Taurus, much more sensuous. Now, another big deal that happens today, the moon is also in her home sign of Cancer, which it's been for the last couple of days. It is Canadian Thanksgiving holiday today, so it's perfect to have the moon in Cancer. It's all about family and being sentimental and gatherings and food. It's all about food whenever the moon is in Cancer because it's the mood of the day. So comfort, food, and nurturing and making everybody feel at home and lots of hugs and lots of tears. That's when the moon is in Cancer in her home. So it's really great when planets are in their home signs because, you feel good, except for Sagittarius moon because they like to travel. They like to be on the road. But every other sign generally kind of likes to be at home. Okay, now the other big deal that's happening today is Pluto is stationing from being retrograde for the last number of months to direct. Now, when planets station, or it means they stop still in the sky, whether they're getting ready to move backwards or forwards, they're at their most powerful, okay? So Pluto has been retrograde since early May the 4th, I would say, until today. So when planets are moving retrograde, especially a planet like Pluto, which rules the unconscious, which rules what's going on underground in the soul and the back rooms and the wheeling and dealing, all about power and control and secrets and money. Yes, the Epstein files, everything that's been covered up, hidden. Now, whatever's been going on behind the scenes can stop. And again, when Pluto's stationary, it's at its most powerful. So, Pluto's nature is destruction for renewal, it's death and rebirth, transformation. So it's a big transformative time right now. So when Pluto is stationed right now, well, it stays immobile, kind of very stationary, literally stopping in the sky. It is at its most powerful. So Pluto is stationing today at 1 degree, right? So it's still right in its early stages of being an Aquarius. This started March 23rd, 23, when Pluto first entered Aquarius. I know it seems like a long time for Pluto to really get going here. And it moved back and forth, right? And then Pluto's stationing right now at 1 degree, 22 minutes. And it's going to be at that degree for the next, I would say, it's been there already for the last few days. Actually, it's been stationing since the 8th, I would say. And it's going to be there until the 19th. So for that period of time, it's a big turnaround point. Okay, so you might think about what's being turned around in your life. What have you been working on unconsciously, even behind the scenes? Pluto rules the collective unconscious. Now it's stopped. It's a big standstill, right, in the sky. And then it will begin to slowly move forward and advance further into Aquarius. Okay, I do believe it got up to 3 degrees earlier this year. So if you're born in those first couple of days, I would say even the first 5 days of Aquarius, you're going to feel this sense of maybe being pinned down or stationed, or your back's up against the wall maybe. But it's a necessary procedure or a process before you can move on. It's like, before you're going on a long trip, you want to make sure you have everything you need to move forward. Okay, so that's an important thing. Okay, Pluto stationing direct. So you want to look at, if you know your natal chart, you want to look at your chart. You want to see where 1 degree, you can move it up a degree. Well, but Pluto's stationing, so no, use 1 degree of Aquarius to look at what's precisely in your chart. Now, all the Gen Z kids who were born 1998, they all have Neptune at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So that generation, 27 years old, right now, 26, 27, they will be feeling this sense of urgency to move, to change, to really get more in touch with what's going on below the surface, okay? And to bring that up into their consciousness, to imagine. Neptune is the planet of imagination, kind of a brave new world, a brand new world, a world of freedom from the past. And, more and more people are waking up because of new media, because of the internet. That's what Aquarius symbolizes. I know the crypto market just crashed. And that can also be, you could attribute that to Pluto and Aquarius stationing, right? Because nothing's moving forward for a few days, okay? So it's kind of Pluto's time to get himself together, because he's going to get ready to move on down the road there. There's still, what am I looking at here? There's still, lots of planets still retrograde. We're still in October here. Saturn's retrograding back from 27 degrees to 26 degrees. So when planets move 1 degree difference at the time, that changes their energy too. Uranus is moving backwards also. It's at 0 degrees now, 0 degrees of Gemini. Neptune is also a little bit, on October the 22nd, Neptune will re-enter Pisces. So Neptune being at 0 degrees of Aries on that pivotal first degree of the zodiac is also very important. And of course, the big date to look forward to, I keep repeating it, is February 20th, 2026, when Neptune and Saturn meet at 0 Aries, a kind of unprecedented energy. So yeah, everything is kind of new right now. I know the world feels chaotic because the world is going through a big mind shift, time shift, everything shift that really hasn't happened in thousands of years. And I do believe that Atlas 31 Atlas has something to do with this, and all those comets coming through. They would traditionally be harbingers of messengers from outer space, right? Even though, of course, the ancients couldn't see them with their naked eye like a regular comet. And there is that really bright one, lemon, going on out there, and the other one. And a bunch of them actually coming through. Those are harbingers. Those are messengers from space. So I will be meditating actually with a friend of mine who's a medium. We're going to sit together tonight and really tune in to what 31 Atlas is all about. I've listened to some of the messengers. It's the usual hokey to me, channeling. They're not really telling you anything new. They're saying it's angels or whatever. Some people are going into the scare tactics. I want to get a really clear message about what it is and the symbolism and the astrology. So actually, I'm going to write an article about that. So I want to wish you all the best blessings. And if you want to get in touch with me for a reading, I'm at taratarot.com. Wishing you all the best blessings of the day.